Hey, Facebook world. This is Kim, and this is,
Hello, Kevin.
and we are here to talk about a concept that I am researching. What do you, just off the top of your head, think about the concept of putting out something called pricks?
So, I don't think anyone else knows kind of the
The
background.
backstory,
Yeah. So the original title of the book on movement was Overcoming Pricks.
right?
Uh,
But the whole point in the pricks, like the whole concept in and of itself, is that we've all been pricked by certain aspects of life. You encounter a situation that just doesn't it just doesn't flow. It doesn't go, you know, it's got to be I've got to do something different. And that's just the prick of knowing.
For our third episode of Pricked. That's where it is at the moment, Pricked. And everybody who has joined us in the past, we thank you. We ask you to share it. We're starting a movement around telling our stories of adversity, of things that have been challenges to us in the past, what we did with those challenges, and how we use them to have a more positive outcome, either in a future circumstance that was similar, or using it to fuel yourself so that you can make a change, a big global change across the board. So you used the prick, right? You were pricked by all of the events that led up to your financial reputation being ruined, right? And you used that to create a passion around educating others, and hence now we're doing this work in this foundation. So I want to hear about the work in the foundation, and I also want people to take away the fact that you can use what's pricked you as fuel for your fire. It's one of the key takeaways of the whole movement. That there are people that do it successfully. Love it. So the whole point in this program is to figure out what you do with those pricks and how you choose to respond to them. And we have been getting some amazing stories and some great feedback about how people have handled pricks in the past.
One of the earliest memories I remember of being pricked was being in second grade. And they always do these tests of, how you're doing, and this thing called phonics that I still can't spell. But they call my parents in, and they say to my parents, they say, "Oh, Mike has flunked phonics." And I'm saying, what's that mean? I have no idea what that means. But I did know that there was this thing called the SRA reading group that, I don't know, you guys are too young for this, but they had this reading group based on both color and your ability to read. Well, no one knew what dyslexia was back then, and I was never diagnosed, with it. But I have severe dyslexia, so I see the world, very different than most kids. So I was always stuck, and I'm also colorblind, so I had a double whammy, right? So I would go from, I think, the green group to the yellow to the gold and all that. I never got out of the green, But I put my pricks in several categories, and that is up in smoke, summer in smoke, crash and burn, a smoke signal, and smoke on the water. The first one, again, learning that I had dyslexia, which should have been a sign, and maybe that was a smoke signal, but it should have been a sign that, I was going to have challenges. And I've written about this quite a bit, about dyslexia. And there's, you all, if you follow it, the common thing, people like, more common as far as entrepreneur is Richard Branson. And I think he was famous as saying, who the hell would come up with a name like dyslexia for dyslexic? And I said, yeah, I can't spell it. I can never spell it. Even with spell check, I can't spell it. Why don't we just call it Bob? That way it's B-O-B. And I know I have Bob. So part of that is, one thing of being, I guess, pricked in life. But, that was a pain in the ass going through school. I'm sitting there with my academic advisor in, junior high and high school at this Roman Catholic military school in DC, all boys school. And the guy turns to me and said, "Ryan, you're a loser." And I'm paraphrasing because this is basically what I read. He may have said something else, but this is the subtitle. "Ryan, you're a loser. First of all, don't even think about going to college, because that ain't happening. And secondly, if you, not that it's going to happen, if you did, you never get through it. And so, basically fill in the blank, you're a loser, you're you're lazy, you're dumb, which is so typical of how people characterize dyslexic.
Right.
Move forward from the pain. And that was painful. To this day, it's still painful. And what makes it even more painful, it was a Catholic priest you know. And so told me that what that did for my life as a individual, as a person, and as a dyslexic motivated the hell out of me.
Had some bigger issues that by taking a stand for equality and equity carried a heavy price on me personally and on the church. And those were big prickly moments for sure that we've had to work through. But I love the premise of your show, because if there's one thing that is always popular in terms of what I teach on, which always gets traction, it has to do with forgiveness issues, which at the end of the day, that is a response to being pricked by somebody, something in life. So this is very, very apropos. And I don't think your show's ever going to get tired.